Hi everyone, it's Nicole with Genesis Go, bringing you a new yoga flow. For today's class, all you will need is an open space on the floor or a yoga mat if you have one available. If you have some balance goals or things that you're working on and need some extra assistance, or some of the muscles are feeling a bit more tight today, you can use an open space wall space or a chair or table to help ease into some of the stretches and also to give you some support for some of the balance challenges if you have them. But we'll get started. Finding a comfortable seat on the mat. Hands can rest on top of the knees, or palms can rest on top of one another in the lap. Begin to take some deep breaths in through the nose, feeling the chest expand and lift. And then allowing the shoulders to release as you exhale. Begin breathing in, feeling the sides of the body expand and lift. And then as you exhale, feeling the body soften down and release. One more time like this, smooth breath in. And smooth breath out. From here, as you breathe in, sweep the arms up, look up toward the hands, roll the shoulders open. Exhale, bring the hands down toward the heart. Let's do this again. Sweeping the arms up, roll the shoulders up, look up. This time as you exhale, turn toward the right knee and then allow the hands to lower down. So one hand will land in front of the legs and one hand comes behind the body. Think of reaching the left shoulder in my direction, pulling the right shoulder back toward the wall behind you. Looking in the direction of the wall that you're turning toward at about eye level so the ears can balance on top of the shoulders. The shoulders rotate on top of the hips. Take another breath here. Allow the air to fully release. Unwind, come back to center. Let's do the other side. Take a breath in, sweep both arms up. This time, as you exhale, turn toward the left knee and then allow the hands to lower down. So this time, your right hand will land in front of the legs, left hand comes behind you to support. Shoulders rotate on top of the hips, looking in the direction of the wall that you're turning toward, looking at eye level so that the head is balanced on top of the spine. Think of rotating and pressing or reaching your right shoulder in the direction of the front edge of the mat or toward your computer if that's where it is located. Reaching the left shoulder back toward the wall behind you. Take another breath here. Stay here as you exhale, twisting more deeply. Unwind, bring yourself back to center. Breathe in, sweep both arms up, look up. Exhale, bring the hands through the center, nod the chin in and walk your hands forward. So the palms come down onto the mat or the fingertips. If it's hard to reach forward and still feel grounded in the seat, you can come more on the fingertips and take your hands wider. But either way, bring the chin in toward the chest. Look toward the abdomen or the inner thighs. Feel the upper back open toward the ceiling. Shoulders soften down toward the mat. Jaw relaxes, corners of the mouth release. Allow the low back to open and expand as you breathe in. Feel the front of the chest soften as you exhale. And then walk the hands back toward you. Last time like this, take a breath in, sweep both arms up, look up. Exhale to bring the hands down toward the heart. All right, let's come on to our hands and knees, tabletop position. Fingers are spread. All of the knuckles, all of the fingertips are on the mat. Your knees balance, or your hips balance on top of your knees. Shins go straight back, toes go straight back. Letting the abdomen and the chest sink down toward the mat for cow pose. Look forward, feel the shoulders broaden as the spine softens down. Exhale, round the back, look toward the thighs for cat pose, reaching the spine up, pressing down through the palms, keeping the elbows straight. Inhale, abdomen and chest sink down, cow pose, looking forward, keeping the sides of the neck long. Exhale, round the back, cat pose, reaching the spine towards the ceiling. Feeling the sides of the waist lift away from the mat, head hangs down toward the hands. One more time here, inhale, let the spine soften down, keep the elbows straight as you look forward. Exhale to round the back, look toward the thighs as you reach the spine up for cat. Good, find a neutral spine, your tabletop position. Step one foot back and the other to your plank pose. The legs help to support you here. Sides of the body are long, you're reaching back through the heels as you press down through the hands. Look in the direction of the hands so the neck stays nice and long. Take another breath here, warming up the body. And lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog, looking toward the legs. Keep the knees fairly bent here as we loosen up the hamstrings. Think of the tops of the thighs pressing back toward the wall behind you. Arms press down into the mat to open the front of the shoulders. Hips lift up and away from the hands. So you have this diagonal line from the wrists through the shoulders, through the hips. Top of the head releases toward the mat. Take another breath here. And shift forward, lower the knees. Shift the body all the way forward, lower all the way down onto the mat. Toes point straight back, chest is down, hands beside you. Elbows go straight back toward the heels. 3 rounds of Cobra Pose, moving with the breath. Inhale, lift the shoulders away from the mat. Keep the hands light in the beginning. Exhale, lower down, bring the chin to the mat. Think of getting long through the sides of the body. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Keep the shoulders wide. Sides of the neck stay long, so we're keeping that space between the ears to the shoulders. Lower down on the exhale, bring the chin to the mat. One more time, breathe in, Cobra Pose, broad through the front of the body, lengthening through the front of the hips, lower down on the exhale. Press up hands and knees, tabletop. Bring the knees wide, big toes come together, child's pose to shift back. Bring the forehead down toward the mat, or you can make a fist with the hand, let the forehead rest on the fist. Front of the ribs release onto the tops of the thighs, hips soften back toward the heels. Feel the back expand as you breathe in. Feel the body release as you exhale. Lift the hips away from the heels, come back, hands and knees, tabletop position. Curl the toes, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Again, the heels can stay lifted the whole time in your down dog, or you can begin to press the heels toward the back edge of the mat. We just want to keep the low back nice and long, so no rounding through the spine, keeping that diagonal line from the wrists through the shoulders to the hips. Take another breath here. And then bend the knees, walk the feet to meet the hands, top of the mat. Take as many steps as you need. Once you reach the top of the mat, bend the knees further, hands come to the shins. Inhale to lengthen your spine, flat back, looking about 3 feet in front of the toes so the neck stays long. Fold forward on the exhale, bring the abdomen to the thighs, top of the head releases. Keep holding onto the shins to support. Inhale to lengthen, find your flat back. Keep the knees soft, walk your hands up the legs, roll the shoulders back. Once you come all the way upright, take a breath in, sweep both arms up, look up. Hands come down toward the heart to release. Breathe in, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, take the hands through the center as you lower down. Hands are either on the floor or the shins, your option. Take a breath in, find your flat back. Step the feet back, find your plank pose. Elbows stay straight, legs are strong, sides of the neck stay long. Shift forward, lower all the way down to the mat. Tops of the feet, breathe in, cobra pose. Lower down on the exhale. Press up hands and knees or plank. I'm going to hands and knees. Toes curl, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Top of the head releases toward the mat. And still active through both the arms, the legs. They're helping to lift the hips high. Take a moment. Find the foundation through the hands, the feet. Then inhale to reach the right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot to the hands, left knee lowers, coming to a low lunge. Adjust the front foot so it can be flat. Hands come to the top of the thighs. You lift the shoulders away from the mat. A little bit of wobbling is okay. That's what you're here for. Right hand will stay on the thigh. Left arm sweeps up. Letting that right shoulder, right elbow relax. Find this opening through the front of the left hip, through the left side of the waist. Keep the right hand on the leg, lower the left fingertips to the mat. Walk your right foot over just a bit to help open up the hip. Turn the shoulders toward the right side of the room. This hand can stay on the leg, and you can actually use that to help press and rotate if that feels better on the back and the shoulders. Or the hand can reach up. Palm faces the wall that you're turning toward. Either looking toward the foot that's in front, toward the wall in front of you, or up at that top hand. Take a moment, take a breath. And unwind, bring both hands down, slide back, plank pose. So stay with me in plank pose. We're adding a shoulder element here. Lower the knees down. One tricep push-up, elbows stop at the ribs. Good, straighten the arms, curl the toes, plank, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Reset. Take a breath. And left leg will lift. Inhale, three-legged dog. Step the left foot to the hands, right knee lowers, coming to that low lunge. Hands come to the top of the thigh to help lift you, shoulders upright. Left hand stays at the top of the thigh, right arm reaches. Finding the space and opening from the left knee, through the thigh, the hip, all the way up to the shoulder. If you want to add a balance challenge, you can begin to tilt the eyes up. If balance is a challenge for you, keep looking at something in front of you that's relatively close by. That can help. Coming to the twist, right hand lowers down. Keeping that left hand on the leg to start, walk the foot out to the side just a touch. Turn toward the left side of the room. You can use the left hand to help in the rotation, or left arm can reach. Staying long through the right side of the waist. Finding that spot to look either toward the front foot, the wall in front of you, or up the top hand. Last breath here. And roll yourself down, find your way to plank pose. Staying in this plank, and then lowering the knees. One tricep push-up, elbows and ribs meet. Straighten the arms, curl the toes, plank, downward facing dog. Nice work, bend the knees, walk the feet to meet the hands, top of the mat. Take a breath in here, find your flat back. Fold forward on the exhale. Breathe in, sweep the arms as you rise. Palms turn up, chest lifts. Hands come down to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Interlace the fingers, index fingers stay outward, tilting over toward the right. Use the right hand to gently pull on the left wrist, the left arm, to find length through the left side of the waist. Your choice, either looking toward the feet, Tilting the head to look underneath the left arm, see what feels best for you. Stretching through the left side waist, one more breath. Bend to the elbows, bring the shoulders back on top of the hips, hands release down. Good, breathe in, sweep both arms up, we'll come into the other side. Interlace the fingers, index finger stays out, we're coming over toward the left this time. Using the left hand to pull on the right arm, finding space through the right side of the waist. Either looking toward the feet or underneath the right arm. Take another breath here, finding space. Bend the elbows, bring the shoulders back on top of the hips, hands release down. And take a breath in, sweep both arms up, look up. Exhale to fold, hands move through the center, sweep back, your option as you fold. Take a breath here, find your flat back. Step the feet back, move through your vinyasa. Your options here, plank, chaturanga, all the way down to the mat. I'm lowering all the way down. Find your back bend of choice, cobra or upward facing dog. And we'll all meet back, downward facing dog. Hips lift, head releases. Find your foundation here, being patient with yourself, noticing the small changes. Inhale, reach the right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open up the hips. The inside of the right knee reaches up toward the ceiling as the foot softens back. Try to keep the shoulders centered and square with the mat. Level the hips, bring the right foot through, coming back to that lunge. Lower the left knee down. Arms sweep as you're ready. Find your foundation, your balance. Take your time. Palms face one another. Lifting and lengthening through the sides of the waist. Palms come down toward the heart. Twisting from here, right hand will be on the top of the thigh, left fingertips come to the mat. You can keep the back knee down or curl the back knee, curl the back toes, reach through the heel, back knee lifts. Top arm can reach if that feels all right for you. Strong in the legs, that left leg is helping to hold you up. Keep working the top of the thigh toward the ceiling. And turn yourself down, find your way to plank. Your vinyasa will meet back down dog. Cobra, upward facing dog for your back bend, lifting to the height that feels good for you. Lift the hips up and back, let the head release, down dog. Feel the difference between the sides. Inhale, reach the left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, allow the left foot to release down. Inside of the left knee reaches toward the ceiling. Shoulders stay centered with the mat. Keep looking toward that right foot. That's going to feel better on the neck in this position. And level the hips, step the left foot to the hands, right knee lowers down. Arms sweep as you're ready, take a breath in. Finding ease and work. Lower the hands down to the heart. All right, twisting toward the left. Left hand starts on the leg. Right hand comes down to the mat. You can keep that back knee down as you turn, or back toes curl, back knee lifts. You're pressing the top of the right thigh toward the ceiling to help hold you in an upright position. Left hand either on the leg, or it can reach toward the ceiling, your choice. Breathe here. Nice job. Roll yourself down. Find your way to plank. Your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Plank to chaturanga all the way flat. Cobra or upward facing dog for your back bend. Downward facing dog as you're ready. Hips lift, head releases. Breathe here. Finding space along the sides of the neck, tops of the shoulders. All right, from here, bend the knees. We're going backwards this time. Walk the hands back to the feet. Then take a breath in, find your flat back. Fold forward on the exhale. Breathe in, sweep the arms up as you rise. Hands come down toward the heart. All right, I'm gonna grab a drink. We'll come into a little bit of balance work. Tree pose. I know, crowd favorite, right? So your left foot will stay down, bend your right knee, turn it out at an angle. So this is where you find that balance of ease and effort. The heel comes to the inside of the ankle if you're still working on some balance goals, or the foot can come to the inside of the shin. You can use the hand to help bring the foot to a higher position. Just try not to press on the inside of the knee. Hands can stay on the hips. Palms can come in front of you. A little bit of wobbling is okay. That's what those muscles are there for. Be patient with yourself. Arms can reach if you're ready. Take your time. Keep breathing. Nice. Good. Bring everything back to center. So even the instructor wobbles. Lower the foot down. Take a breath here. Sweep both arms up. Bring the hands down toward the heart as you exhale. All right, let's try the other side. See if it's any better, any more challenging. Bending the left knee, foot to the inside of the ankle, the shin, or using the hand to help the leg come into position. So this side may be very different from the previous. That's okay. Have the same amount of patience with yourself on this side as you did the previous. Palms can be in front of you, arms can reach. You can, of course, use that wall or chair if you need some extra assistance. Smooth, steady breathing. Slow and steady, bring things back to center. Take your time. Lower the foot down. Take a breath here. Sweep both arms up, look up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. All right, let's step to the top of the mat. And we're going to come into warrior two from here. So your right foot will stay forward, left foot steps back. Right knee bends, the knee and the toes point straight forward toward the wall in front of you. Back toes are a little bit of an angle, back leg is straight. Arms reach out beside you, palms are level with the shoulders. Look over the right fingertips. Pressing down through the outside of the left foot. Ensure the right foot is firmly planted. Breathing here. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, sweep both arms up, big breath in. Exhale, bend the front knee, palms press down, warrior two. And flow with this, breathe in, sweep both arms up as you straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend the front knee, palms press, warrior two. One more time, breathe in, sweep both arms up, front leg straightens. Exhale, bend the front knee, palms press, warrior two. So if you need to adjust the feet as you move through this, that's okay. Give yourself a pause, a moment. And looking toward the front foot, windmill the hands down, find your way to plank, take your time. Hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Pause and breathe. Bend the knees, your choice, walk or hop, feet to meet the hands. Take a breath in, find your flat back. Fold forward on the exhale. Breathe in, sweep the arms as you rise, palms turn up and they come together. Hands come down toward the heart. All right, let's do the left side. Left foot steps forward, right foot steps back for warrior two. The knee is centered with the toes. Knee and toes point toward the front edge of the mat. Back leg is straight, foot is at a little bit of an angle here. Arms reach out beside you for warrior two, palms level with the shoulders. Looking over the left fingertips, feeling strong in the legs. Pressing firmly down through both feet. Letting the front of the ribs relax, taking another breath. Same thing on this side. Inhale, straighten the left leg as you sweep both arms up. Bend the left knee, palms press down, warrior two. Inhale, arms sweep, front leg straightens. Again, you can adjust the feet as you need through this. Bend the left knee, palms press, finding warrior two. And one more time, breathe in, sweep both arms up, front leg straightens. Bend the left knee, palms press down, warrior two. Take a fresh breath here. And then looking toward the front foot, pivoting, finding your way to plank. Hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment, a fresh breath. Shift forward, lower the knees. Come all the way down to the mat, coming flat. Tops of the feet are down. From here, take your palms, place one hand on top of the other and let your forehead rest on the back of the hands. Shoulders and elbows go wide. Breathing here, smooth and steady. We'll come up onto the forearms from this position, Sphinx Pose. So your elbows are underneath the shoulders, forearms are parallel to one another. From here you can make fists if this is a better option for your wrists. Sometimes for people bringing the palms flat on the mat doesn't feel very nice, so fist is a good option. We'll stretch out the front of the legs a little bit further. So bend your right knee, try to keep the hips as centered and level as you can. Foot goes toward the ceiling. Think of reaching the knee away from the front of the hip. So I'm looking toward the front edge of the mat, so I'm trying to keep my neck nice and long, chin and chest relaxed. Lower the right foot down. Do the same thing on the left side, bending the left knee, toes go toward the ceiling. Keeping the hips as centered and level with the mat as you can. Lower the left foot down, press into the hands, lift the elbows, lower the torso down toward the mat. Come back to where you started, palms rest on top of one another, forehead rests on the back of the hands. Keeping the head down, bend both knees so the feet go up toward the ceiling. Rock the shins side to side, this will release the low back. I'm trying to keep the body centered with the mat. Lower the feet back down. And come back to that Sphinx pose and add on. Elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms parallel to one another. And fist is a nice option if bringing the palms down to the mat does not feel nice for you. So from here, we're taking the left forearm, bringing it across. So now the forearm's parallel to the front edge of the mat. I'm going to bend the right knee. Reach back with the right hand, see if I can find the right foot. We'll see if I can find it today. I'm keeping my thumb down because that, and holding on to the outside of the foot, that feels a little bit better in my shoulder. If you want to go for the inside of the foot with the thumb up, you're welcome to do so. You can take it there. Keep the shoulders centered and level. Think of pressing the foot into the hand. See if you can straighten the right elbow to add a stretch through the front of the chest and through the front of the shoulder. Pressing the left forearm into the mat to help lift the chest. Take another breath. Slowly release the foot, lower yourself all the way back down. And breathe here. All right, let's do do the other side, even things out, come back onto the forearms. This time your right forearm comes across, so the forearm's parallel to the front of the mat, pressing the forearm down into the mat to help keep the shoulders level. You'll bend the left knee, foot goes in the direction of the ceiling, left hand reaches back, again seeing if you can find the foot, pressing the forearm down, trying to keep the torso centered with the mat, and the knee reaching straight back. Maybe straightening the left elbow, feeling the stretch through the front of the left arm, left shoulder, but also in the front of the left hip and thigh. You got it. Keep the jaw relaxed. Slowly release the foot, the hand, lower back down. As you lower down, go ahead and reach both arms forward. Arms can go a little bit wider if that feels better on the shoulders, chin or forehead to the mat. Feel the back expand as you breathe, and release as you exhale. Walk the hands back beside you. Press up hands and knees, tabletop. Bring the knees wide, bring the big toes to touch, child's pose as you sit back toward the heels. Space to allow the forehead to rest. Outside of the hips soften back. Tops of the shins, the ankles release. Come forward, hands and knees. Curl the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Notice the difference from the first downward facing dog that you did in class to this one here. Where have you gained some space and some length? Where have you gained some strength? Bend the knees, walk or hop feet to meet the hands. Take a breath in, find your flat back. Fold forward on the exhale. Breathe in, sweep the arms to rise. Roll the shoulders up and back. Hands come down toward the heart. Let's come into pyramid pose. Take your left foot forward, right foot forward, left foot steps back. Now in pyramid, the legs are not as far away from one another because the hips and shoulders are facing forward. Toes are going straight forward. Take on your right foot, left foot's at a little bit of an angle. Take your hands to your hips, slight bend to the right knee as you fold over the top of the right thigh. Hands come down to the ground, or maybe they come down to a wall or to a chair. Take the option that works for you in the body. Today you may feel different than you did the previous day. You're giving yourself a chance to observe just whatever is taking place in the body in this moment. Going to stretch through the back of the right thigh. Another breath here. All right, to come out of this position, keep even pressure in both feet. Bend your right knee, hands come to the hips, pull the shoulders up and back, bring yourself upright, step the feet together. Breathe in, sweep the arms up, lengthening through the sides of the waist. Hands come down toward the heart to release. Other side, left foot steps forward, right foot steps back. And finding the distance with the feet where your hips and your shoulders can be facing the front edge of the mat. Left toes are pointing straight forward, right foot is at a little bit of an angle. Slight bend to the left knee, you're rolling the hips forward so you can lean over the top of the left thigh. And hands then come down toward the ground, or whatever you're using as support and assistance today. Find and you strengthen the legs. The legs, even though they're being stretched, they're still working to help support you. That's also going to let the back and the shoulders release more so. And stretch through the back of the left thigh. Smooth, steady breathing. Keeping even pressure in both feet. Coming out of this position, bending the left knee. Hands come to the hips as you pull the shoulders back to rise. Feet step together, top of the mat. Take a breath here. Sweep both arms up, look up. Hands come down toward the heart to release. Give yourself a pause, a moment to observe. Our last inhale, so breathe in, sweep both arms up, look up. Exhale to fold, arms sweep back as you lower down. Take a breath in, find your flat back. Step the feet back, your vinyasa. Plank, chaturanga all the way down. And tops of the feet in your back bend, lifting to your comfort. Downward facing dog as you're ready. Hips lift, head softens down. 3 full cycles of breath. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Full smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Last time here. Deep breath in. Full release on the exhale. And shift forward, lower the knees to the mat. Come to a seated position from here, Dandasana, stack pose. Legs reach forward, toes point straight up. So if the low back is tight or hamstrings are tight in this pose, you can bend the knees. That can feel better for some people, or feet can step a little bit further apart. Take the option that works for you. Arms sweep up as you breathe in. Fold forward on the exhale. Think of tilting forward from the hips and lengthening the sides of the waist. Hands, if they're able to reach the feet, hold on to the outside of the feet. If that's not realistic for you today, hands can hold on to the outside of the legs, the back of the knees. It's whatever feels best for you. Now the corners of the mouth, the jaw to release. Releasing pressure from the sides of the body, the top of the head. Slowly walk yourself back upright. Take the right knee, cross it over the left. Right foot is flat, left toes point straight up. Left arm comes to hold on to the outside of the right foot. Right hand comes behind you. Pulling the right shoulder back, reaching the left shoulder toward the front edge of the mat. And come back to center, straighten both legs. Bend the left knee, sole of the left foot comes to the mat. Right toes point straight up, right arm holds onto the outside of the left knee. Reach the right shoulder toward the front edge of the mat. Pull the left shoulder back. Unwind, bring yourself back to center. One more time here, take a full breath in, sweep the arms up. Exhale, release down over the legs, folding forward. The outside of the shoulders slide down toward the mat, elbows soften. Walk the shoulders back on top of the hips. Bend the knees, come on to the back for final Shavasana. Hug the knees in toward the chest. Hands rest on the front of the knees, front of the shins. Shoulders soften down toward the ground. Back of the head releases. Feel how the back slides across the mat as you breathe in. And then feel it soften and slide towards center as you exhale. Reach the legs long, arms reach overhead. Take a full body stretch. Back of the head stays light. Low back arches. And bring the hands out beside you. Your final Shavasana position, palms turn up. A little bit of a bend to the elbows. Feet roll out wide to the sides of the mat. Eyes move in the direction of the ceiling, and then the eyelids softly close. Allowing yourself to be here in this stillness for just a few moments. Feeling the parts of the body that press into the ground beneath you. Feeling any shifts that take place in those areas as you breathe. Feeling the areas of the body that are resting against clothing. And noticing how those areas shift against the clothing as you breathe. Allowing the breath to move without effort in and out of the body. And then slowly bringing a little bit of motion to the fingers. You're rolling the fingertips across one another. And rolling out the wrists. Bringing motion to the toes, the ankles, feet. And bending the knees. Roll all the way over onto the right side of the body. Right shoulder and hip rest on the mat. Your fresh start. Use the hands to press your shoulders upright, seated position. Palms come together in front of you. Eyes can stay softly closed. Noticing the changes that you've achieved for yourself in the mind and in the body. Take a full breath in here, feel the chest expand and lift. Allow the air to release completely, the chin nods down as you exhale. Thank you so much for letting me come into your home, for allowing me to be part of your practice today. Thank you for giving not only me, but yourself the trust and the time to do so. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. If you'd like access to more videos, whether it's yoga, workout, or whatever type of information you'd like to have during this time, you can access the videos through the Genesis Facebook page or their Genesis Go YouTube channel. Otherwise, I will hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.